and it's like 9:25. So, hi, hello, welcome to my day in the life. This is quarantine edition, I guess, but it's also kind of like transplant recovery edition. So the very first thing I do when I get up in the morning is take my medication. So I have this massive box. It looks like this. And it got all of my 9 o'clocks, my 12 o'clocks, my 5 o'clocks, and my 9 o'clocks. And it has Sunday through Saturday. And I keep it right beside my bed in a little basket because I have to have access to it very quickly every morning because I have an hour window to take my medication, and then if I don't, I'm off schedule. So the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I take my medication. Let's see, what else do I do? This is like my favorite cup that I have currently. It says "See the able, not the label," and it's got a puzzle piece heart on the back. Shout out to you if you know what this is spreading awareness for. Comment down below if you know. Okay, I guess let's get on with the day. Okay, please ignore all the mess in the background. I'm currently going through my closet. That's one thing that I've decided to do during quarantine. So, and my next step is to actually get dressed. So a lot of times, when you're like going through recovery, one of the things that they tell you is to make sure that you're getting ready each day. So that my dog is being very obnoxious today. They tell you to get dressed every day because that's an occupational therapist level task. And some days it is actually difficult for me to get dressed physically, and some days it's not. So I always try to do that every single day, because A, it makes me feel like I'm not just like sitting around the house and being lazy, and B, it makes me feel like refreshed and like, okay, it's a new day, I'm ready to move on, I'm ready to get things done. So that's kind of like a tip for you guys too. If you're struggling with this quarantine and you just feel lazy and like all you want to do is sleep, find a time to like get up and get dressed. So maybe set a morning routine or whatever time you wake up. I usually wake up at 9 because I have to take my medicine at 9. Sometimes I'll lay back down and go back to sleep if I had a hard night, which is definitely a real thing. I have difficult nights. Sorry guys, I'm trembling really bad right now because I'm switching doses on my anti-rejection medication, and it makes me shake and shiver and tremble and sound like I'm nervous. So that's annoying, but it happens and we just deal with it and we move on. Also, if you guys want to know why that big old bruise is there, I had a biopsy earlier this week and it showed no rejection. Yay! Praise God! But I didn't have any rejection and they wanted me to decrease some of my medications, which is wonderful because some of the medications I'm on right now I won't have to be on for the rest of my life. So I'm currently taking about 50 pills a day, but I've now gone down to probably like 45. So that is amen, hallelujah, praise the Lord moment. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready and get dressed and then I will come back to you. So I wanted to just like take a second in this day in the life vlog to talk to y'all and to like be real and honest. I'm making a lot of changes in my life. Like I'm changing my whole lifestyle by doing like the road to healthy living in the next 56 days, and I'm doing a lot of stretching, a lot of yoga, light ab workouts and stuff like that until I'm cleared for full workouts, and like that's great. And I feel like all of these things are happening and changing, and sometimes when you're making those changes, you kind of feel like you're not yourself, or that you're like inherently losing a part of who you are if you like don't know the reason why you are doing them. So I wanted to share with you my why I am choosing to be healthier and to have better habits and stuff like that. I mean, first of all, it's one of my resolutions for this year. If you haven't seen our 2020 resolutions video, it'll be linked over here or over there or whatever. Literally, my whole goal was to take better care of my body. And the reason I say that, and it makes me very emotional, the reason that I say that is because if I was still in heart failure, like, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care to watch what I eat or exercise. I mean, I liked to exercise before. It was something that was fun to me, and dancing has always been like a good release of energy, so yoga, stretching, stuff like that is fun to me. And I find it soothing and relaxing and whatever. But, like, someone had to die so that I could have life. And, like, I know that this is such a resemblance to Jesus, but, and I mean, Jesus did die to give me life, and I thank him every day for that. But my donor was fairly young. They were, old enough to be an adult, but I think that a lot of times this is the part of transplant that people don't talk about. Like, my donor is my hero. They gave me their heart. And it would be so selfish of me if I were to get their heart. A heart that was... Oh, I hate crying on camera. Okay. But a heart that was strong and in good physical condition, and that worked. It would be selfish of me to not take care of my body after all that they had done to protect their body, or at least their heart. And because the doctors said that there was no fatty acids or cholesterol buildup or anything around the donor's heart, they said that it was an active heart, so they must have been very athletic. And I don't know whether that came in the form of running or swimming or playing baseball, softball, whatever, I don't know. But they were athletic to a certain degree, enough to have had a good heart. And I'm so grateful, like beyond words grateful for my donor. It's just hard. And I don't feel like this every day. Like, I don't just sit and cry every day. I do cry a lot, but I don't cry every day. But going through transplant, it feels like a blur, and then it hits you that, like, oh, that really happened. Someone was actually pronounced brain dead, and then someone looked up on the computer to see if they were a donor. They were a donor, so they were put on either a ventilator or respirator or whatever to keep them alive long enough for however many teams to come and harvest however many organs they had that was salvageable. And they did that willingly, because they knew that if they were to die, that they wanted to be useful and helpful and to be giving and loving, and that is what it's amazing. I mean, it's an amazing gift. It really, really, truly is. And like I said, I'm forever grateful. I know as much as I can about my donor, but I don't want to disclose that on camera, but because of privacy. But I'm so grateful for them. I really am. And so I told myself that if I wasn't going to get it together for myself, that I had to get it together for my donor, because it would be disrespectful and rude of me not to. And I still believe that, like right now. So that's what I'm feeling, and that's what I'm thinking, and I don't think that a lot. I mean, I definitely think about it every day, but I don't focus on it as intensely as I am today, and I don't know why. I'm feeling, I guess, overwhelmed about it today. I don't know why that is, but it's real life, and transplant recovery and being a recipient is difficult. I mean, being a donor family is difficult. Any process, any part of the process of organ donation and donate life and etc., like it's hard. It's hard. Because someone has to die for someone else to live, and then the someone else that is supposed to live doesn't always live, and so I'm lucky, very lucky, that the heart took and that I recovered fast, and I'm still recovering. You know, I have chronic pain and I have nerve damage. They cut open my chest, and like it was open for like 8 hours. So I mean, I have nerve damage, I have skin healing that is still taking place, and etc., etc., and I still have to go to the doctor every month, and I have to get blood drawn every 2 weeks and stuff like that. But I'm not complaining, because I mean, hello, duh. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. If I haven't already portrayed the fact that I'm grateful and thankful for what's happened to me, I am forever grateful and thankful, and I thank the Lord every single day for the blessing that He's given me, that He's given me life, because I was not far from dying when I was in the hospital, and that's hard to think about, but it's true. I mean, I did die in a way when I was in surgery, but there were multiple times in the ICU where nurses would be tracking my heart rate, and they would come in and stick the defibrillator patches on me just as a precaution, you know, but it meant that I was going to code, and if I didn't really fight. And so I fought. I mean, I got up and I walked, and I don't know how. People are like asking me, you know, how did you get through transplant? How did you manage all those tasks and stuff like that? Like, how did you get up the same day, and how did you get out of bed and walk while you're on the balloon pump? And I'm like, it seems like the corniest answer in the world, but truly it was God. It was the Lord leading me, guiding me, telling me, you gotta get up, you gotta go, you gotta fight, because I'm starting my journey as a youth pastor, and I know that God has got so much more to do with me and my path and my journey, and I'm so excited to see, like, these are happy tears now, okay, but I'm so excited to see where God takes us. And I know that a lot of you are bogged down and worried and stressed about COVID-19. I mean, I'm stressed about it. But at the end of the day, God is faithful, and He knows what's going to happen before it happens. And I'm sure Andrea talked about something like this, because we're just like birds of a feather. But at the end of the day, we know who holds the world, and we know who holds our future. We know that He's a way maker. Our God is an awesome God, guys. Like, He he does things in a way that sometimes we're like, what? Like, why? Why are you doing this? But then we look back on it 5 years, 10 years, 30 years from now, and we're like, oh, if this hadn't happened, this wouldn't be happening right now. Or, oh, if I didn't walk this battle, I wouldn't understand how to get through this one. Or, oh, now I'm ministering to these people, but if I hadn't had XYZ experiences back in 2019, 2020, whatever, then I wouldn't know how to guide these people, right? So in every season, God is faithful, and He is leading us towards the path of righteousness if we are seeking Him, and if we are praying and being real and open and honest and having that open line of communication with God. When He hears from us, He is faithful to answer those prayers. So I just encourage y'all to pray and study the Word. Take this time if you're not working, if you're not doing school, or if you're doing online school and it's taking you less time than normal or whatever. I encourage you to really use the extra time that you've been given to find a Bible study. I know that Lifeway is doing small groups Bible studies on their small groups app, and they're giving a couple away for free, and there's some really, really nice ones on there. My Bible study group's going through Stronger by Angela Thomas right now. That's a really great study. I believe the Counterculture study is on there for free. Beth Moore's new study, I think, is on there as well. And you can also pay to have a subscription if that's something you want to do. If you can't start a small group, go walk through the Bible study yourself. Play the videos, watch them, do it daily, do it weekly, but make sure that you're in the Word. That, you know, my goal is to be in the Word every single day, and I hope that's your goal too. But if you're not quite there yet, get in the Word at least once a week or every 3 days. You know, give yourself some structure and say, okay, this is when I need to be in the Word. And if I miss this, I'm going to hold myself accountable for this. Because, guys, it's a big deal. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about prayer all the time. And I know you're going to be so sick of hearing me talk about prayer. But, like, prayer does things. Prayer is powerful. So, pray. Pray for yourself. Pray for your health and your safety and the health and safety of those around you. Pray for this world. Pray for the Christian and the non-Christian. Pray for the conformist and the non-conformist. Pray for our government. Pray for the virus, for the people working on the front lines, the people working in the behind the scenes that aren't recognized. Like my father. My father's a diesel mechanic, and my uncle, he's a loader truck mechanic, and they don't get recognized at all during stuff like this, but they are the ones keeping trucks on the road and stuff. So be in prayer for them and for law enforcement, because they're not really getting recognized. All the healthcare, of course, we need to be praying for our doctors and nurses, because they are literally on the front lines in the face of danger, and they're doing it to protect you and to protect me, and we don't deserve that. Pray for your church. Hopefully your church is doing something that is social distance acceptable. Pray that you yourself will stay in the Word, that God will lead and guide you and your church and your family and whoever you want to pray for, whoever you feel convicted to pray for them. Just pray that we make it, that we are given the strength from God that we need to make it through this time in our lives, this trial, this whatever it is to you. Pray for the strength and the will and the power to get through it. And I promise that if you pray that prayer, you will get through it. regardless of what happens. I just realized that I made a crock pot meal with no time to let it sit in a crock pot. So I'm gonna make it an instant pot meal. Pray that we don't die. So for this night's meal, I had made sesame chicken, some quinoa, and some fresh veggies. Wow, yum, those look so good. Alright, food discussion, good or bad?
Very good.
Mom, good or bad? Dinner! Delicious, she said. Alright, Nana.
It's great.
Is it good?
It's really, really good.
Okay, good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, Day in the Life of Quarantine with me. Make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe below if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment of what you guys are up to in quarantine.